Well, Haley, after the Parkland shooter received a life sentence, bills were introduced in the Florida legislature that, if passed, would allow death sentences even when the jury cannot come to a unanimous decision on the proper penalty. But Floridians for the alternatives to the death penalty are now traveling the state to stop the legislation and try and put an end to death sentences for good. Execution is not the solution. That is Death Penalty Action's main message, an organization dedicated to abolishing the death penalty.
Why kill people who kill people? To show Americans that killing people is wrong.
Suzanne Bossler is one of a dozen or so people who came together outside the Hillsborough County Courthouse Monday to protest against the death penalty as part of a statewide tour by Death Penalty Action, a cause she got involved in after working tirelessly to have her father's killer, James Campbell's death sentence, changed to a life sentence, something that was eventually granted after 4 trials.
If James was given life at the beginning, I would have had all those years to start healing early, right after it happened, so that I would be in a better place today and easier and more relaxed and more better with myself.
Currently, there are 301 people on death row in Florida. However, there hasn't been an execution since 2019. But that could change later this week. That's because Monday, Governor DeSantis signed a death warrant for 59-year-old Donald Dilbeck, who was convicted of fatally stabbing a woman during a carjacking at a Tallahassee mall in 1990. His execution is set for Thursday, which is why Death Penalty Action is traveling the state this week, raising awareness against executions. It comes as House Bill 555 makes its way through the legislature, which, if passed, would make it so death sentences would be allowed if at least 8 jurors agreed. Currently, state law requires a unanimous decision.
If I was going to help the government kill James, I would be just like James. My title would be murderer too. So that's why we need to educate these people.
And currently, House Bill 555 is in the Criminal Justice Subcommittee. If it were to pass, that 8-juror threshold would be the lowest in the nation to impose a death sentence. Currently, Alabama is one of the only states that allows death sentences when the jury is not unanimous, and they require at least 10 jurors to agree there. Haley?
We know there are a lot of opinions and a lot of passion on both sides of this issue, so we'll be sure to follow up once they make that decision. Jordan, thank you.